Good afternoon, Mayor West, councillors. My name is Peter Matthison. I grew up here. I know our climate has changed already, and I know much more change is coming. The steady increase in global land surface temperature has now reached over 1.1 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial level, and world governments are failing to make the changes that could keep it from exceeding 2 degrees warming, failing to limit future emissions sufficiently. We are not on track to meet that goal. Emissions continue to rise. Our current trajectory will see Taree's average temperature at least 3.8 degrees Celsius above the current temperatures by 2050, with 12% rainfall likely less. There is no denying this science. It comes from the best minds of our time and is the basis for the scientific community achieving consensus of around 99.97% now from all peer-reviewed research that climate change is real and we are the cause. While science is unanimous in this conclusion, our politicians have failed to lead us out of this situation. Our current trajectory is incompatible with an organised global community. We are heading for a scenario which will result in social collapse and likely annihilation of the human race, along with most life on Earth, without sudden and radical change in our behaviour. Our current trajectory of business as usual, while the world's and Australia's carbon emissions continue to rise each and every year, as they are still rising right now, will lead to a world that is unsafe for us all. Time is running out to rein in our emissions successfully without triggering irreversible and catastrophic changes to our planet's climate. We need to act now. Our demands are simple, and when met, there are no losers. Everyone wins. Tell the truth. Mid-Coast Council must tell the truth by declaring a climate and ecological emergency, and they must begin working with other institutions to communicate the urgency for change. We must end the denial of climate science and promise to keep the population informed of what is really going to happen as we transition away from fossil fuels. It is not fair that your constituents are not aware of the changing climate. It will change, regardless of their beliefs, and they are currently unprepared for this change. It will affect everyone. You need to tell them. You need to tell them the truth. It is your job. All around our great country, brave councils are making climate emergency declarations as they realise the enormity of the task ahead and agree to face the challenges ahead with strength, integrity and determination. Whilst addressing climate change may not be popular with the people who vote for you, it is these same people who you are sworn to protect, no matter how unpopular the task may be. What I ask of you is that you take this opportunity in time, right now, to implement a legacy of positive change for this region by making a climate emergency declaration and extending the full resources of the Council and our government to address this complex, existential threat to our way of life. I beg you to do this so that our children and all future generations after us may have the same quality of life we have now enjoyed. Right now that is in doubt, and every day of inaction makes it more doubtful. Entire countries are making climate emergency declarations and elevating this issue to be their number one priority. England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, in our Commonwealth, all have. The number of climate emergency declarations is growing every week right now here in Australia. Right now in Australia, over 34 leading councils have made climate emergency declarations, and over 3.4 million citizens are now living under the protection of those councils, knowing that their leaders are taking this threat seriously and are willing to take the strongest action they can on behalf of their constituents. That is what I call real leadership to get through this. Can Mid-Coast Council lead on this? Have you got our backs on this? I would like to invite Mid-Coast Council staff and councillors to attend a science-based community forum our Extinction Rebellion group is hosting in the region. we have organised world-renowned paleoclimatologist Professor Chris Turney from UNSW's Climate Change Research Centre to present science on climate change and where we are headed, and other high-profile speakers to address issues such as the benefits of climate emergency declarations for councils. Drought, bushfire, sea level rise, rainfall change will all be addressed. We want to participate, and we heard during the 120-day period following from Councillor Epov's motion being accepted that you were open to community participation. So where's our invite? You have the power to change the future of this region and to propel us forward as leaders in environmental and ecological stewardship. By making a climate emergency declaration, our future is in your hands, each and every one of you. Please don't underestimate the threat climate change poses to the world and to our local way of life. I need you to think these questions when you sleep at night. Have I done everything in my power to ensure the safety and well-being of my constituents? What else could I have done today? Did I do enough to secure the safety and well-being of my constituents facing this emergency? What side of history will you be on?